So you first came to Japan in 2002, or you?
End of 2001.
Ah, end of 2001. And then how did you get into the acting thing? Was it just you bumped into it, or you were looking for it?
For the first few months I was here, I was sharing in the flat, and there were various people passing through, and the friend of one of the residents, we were talking, and he said, oh, go to IMO, they're an acting agency, and I did, and that was that.
And then IMO, I guess, didn't they used to be the biggest acting agency in Japan?
I don't think there's any use to about it. I haven't been following lately, but
Yeah.
I think we find that they are the biggest, full stop. But
Yeah, I think after the earthquake, like I remember before the earthquake, there was like 20 agents in their office. When I'd walk in there, they had this huge board. You'd see all these jobs
well,
up on the wall.
I've been in there for ages.
Yeah. And so then from IMO, then you found out about other agencies.
Well, just by meeting other people on jobs.
Yeah.
So, then you find out which agencies are good and which aren't.
Yeah.
Which insist on making you wait up to 3 months. There's a lot of some agencies, it used to be and probably still is, they won't pay you till the end of the 3rd month after the month in which you did the job. In other words, if you do a job on the 1st of January, they won't pay you till the end of April.
Yeah.
You did work on 1st of January.
Do you think they're just hoping? Do you think it's because they're having trouble collecting the money, or do you think they're hoping that people will bail, that their visa will run out and they will bail before they collect the money?
I can't prove it, but I'm absolutely sure that's an aspect of it.
Right. They're just hoping someone flew in on a tourist visa, they got 90 days, or...
Unless they're a crooked agency in the first place, they won't employ you unless they're absolutely sure you've got a valid working visa.
Now. But maybe 10 years ago, or...
When I started, they wouldn't touch you unless you've got a valid working visa. And if they would, you wouldn't want to know about them.
Oh, okay.
That's in 2002. It was like before, I don't know. He said he turned up donkeys years ago and was acting in his first week. Probably on a tourist visa, I don't know.
But the theory on the pay, why they hold it 90 days, you think that they're hoping the person maybe will forget about the payment? They won't keep a record?
Well, they won't forget about it, but the chances are your visa is the chances are if you're a new face, your visa's only for a year if it's a visa that allows you to work.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, or it used to be only a year, it might be longer now. So if you're
on an entertainment visa,
if you're doing actors, and they're on a year or two's visa, I mean, once you know they're leaving in 3 months' time, you don't have to pay them, do you?
Right.
So, well, that's like getting them at a quarter off, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
I mean, you just don't have to pay them for the last 3 months. How are they going to enforce it?
And so if they do that to enough of people, then that adds up. Yeah.
Well, if you turn that off, I'll tell you something about IMO.
And make a bigger profit. Okay, well, we'll continue and then we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
I guess if you're okay with that, because I can't edit with this anyway. So, did you do like commercials or Saigon dramas, or like what type of...
It started off with Saigon dramas, Unbelievable, and I don't know what the other names were, separately. If you've ever seen drama reconstructions, be it at home or here or wherever, and wondered why the acting is so bad, it's because it's people like me and you doing it. That's all there is to it. Same happens in Britain. You know?
Yeah, it's almost funny, like when I'm doing one, it's almost like I know how idiotic I'm going to look, or they're going to look, or how funny the show's going to look, so I don't even bother. I just kind of try to do what they tell me to do, and then that's it.
Well, I gave up doing... No, this is too complicated. But I need to be careful what I say. There's some things I'm not prepared to say.
Yeah, you can't say. So anyways, on the drama, so those were a lot of fun, huh? Hanging out with people?
No, well, don't
Not that.
necessarily like hanging out with people.
Oh, yeah.
I don't necessarily like hanging out with some of the people you find on these things.
And you don't like staying up for 3 days?
I don't
Or
like,
sleeping in a bus?
I don't like being treated badly.
Like me?
I don't
Yeah.
like being treated badly.
Yeah. And then the bentos, the meals.
Well, that's the point. If they keep you fed
Yeah.
and informed, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes it was you're there when you're doing these things. It's not as though you're only required for 20 or 30 minutes here and there throughout the day, and then you've got all this time to be doing your own things. You can't apply your mind to anything else from arriving for the job till getting home. The one thing with the Saigon dramas and so on, you never know when they're going to finish. You can turn up at 10 o'clock in the morning and be gone by 2, finished in the afternoon. Or they're sending you home in a taxi at 4 o'clock in the morning. Well, that's not pleasant, staying up all night. On the other hand, I never had a problem getting home from work. There's always taxi.
Yeah, one of the last shows I worked on, they didn't even try to drive us back. It was kind of by a station in downtown Tokyo, and they didn't even want to drive us back to the halfway point or take us to the station on the halfway point.
Well,
and it doesn't bother me because I'm a guy, but I was with 4 girls, and I felt sorry for these 4 girls that were just like stranded.
That's because you're not used enough to Japan. It isn't a problem in Japan.
Yeah.
You're 23 years old, girl, short party dress, get off the train in central Tokyo, Osaka, or God knows where, and you haven't got the taxi fare home. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, you've got to walk through the back streets of Tokyo to get home. It isn't a problem.
It's safe.
Japan.
It's really safe.
Things do go wrong, murders do happen, people get raped and dismembered and all that sort of thing, but the scale is massively smaller, even allowing for Japanese underreporting.
Yeah.
I've never felt physically threatened here. Never, not once.
So do you think, I guess I shouldn't turn this to political, I'll just keep it on the acting, so I'll try to keep
Well,
it.
it depends if it's economist-type politics or not. If it's economist-type politics, I'm easy with that.
Oh, really? So what do you think about, okay, well, I'll get into that. I'll just stick with the acting for a minute, and then I'll talk.
Not that I'm an expert
about the politics, but so I mean, like, say 8 years ago, would you recommend someone come here to get acting jobs? Was there enough of work that you could sustain a possible income from doing it?
No. It depends on your circumstances and everything. I was sort of effectively retired, so it's not a question.
But you could almost do it full time.
No.
Oh, okay.
Unless you had some phenomenal charisma or something or whatever. I don't think, from when I arrived, I don't think you could look at that as sustaining you independently in any decent level.
But how
my opinion.
How many days a week do you think you were working in your heyday when you were at your busiest time?
It was never a job.
Yeah.
It was never a job. I mean, I might get, doing the dramas, I might get 1 drama in a couple of weeks or so. It was never ever anything that I could have thought, oh, I could live on this. Never.
And then how do you
I've
feel?
had some massive jobs. I've had jobs that have paid me 500,000 yen for maybe a couple of days, and then, as I told you earlier, continued to pay each year. But that's only from the good agencies.
Yeah.
The bad agencies, when they get a repeat payment for running something on, they don't tell you about it.
And then didn't they used to pay to go to commercials like what we went on today? Didn't at one time?
Hang on, this is not from personal experience, this is hearsay, but I believe it to be true.
Yeah.
In the heyday, the bubble era, they would pay you at least your expenses to go to an audition. It might even be that they would actually pay you to go to an audition. I don't know. I didn't experience that. That was over before I got here.
Right. And then on commercials, what was your batting average, do you think? Like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10?
In the first few years, I would say it was about 1 in 10.
1 in 10, so that's not bad.
I don't know. I didn't keep stats.
Track.
I didn't keep stats, but it's like Ken said. I think it's called Ken. I don't remember.
So probably nowadays you wouldn't recommend someone comes to Japan to try to be an actor solely as a job. Yeah.
No, you're not a, hang on, you need to get this right. Unless you're a big star, you're not an actor here in Japan. You're a piece of meat with a foreign face. That's it.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, I met a guy last week on a show, and he said he has a regular slot on a TV show, and he goes around and interviews people and all this.
This is Randy Goins.
And he only made. Well, I can't.
Sorry.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm sorry.
No.
Well, you can edit it.
And he told me that he only gets like 200 a show, and he's on TV.
$200.
Yeah. Nima.
Well, and he's on TV.
Yeah.
Once a week.
Yeah.
Well,
but that's what it's gotten to, I think.
Well, I don't know. It's not out of my depth. It's out of my direct knowledge.
Okay.
I mean, there are various guys. There's youngish. Well, 10 years ago he was youngish. American guy doing some sort of show. He was perfectly bilingual, and I'm sure he was making minting money. I don't know. He had a regular show, and he was quite a well-known star.
Yeah.
But that doesn't befall the likes of you and me or anybody else.
And then the guy with the SoftBank, he probably got lucky on that gig, and he's probably doing okay. He's making good money on SoftBank, probably.
I don't know what you're talking about.
The SoftBank commercials with the dog and all that.
I don't watch TV.
Oh,
Never
yeah.
have.
Oh, yeah.
Never have. Never owned a TV in my entire adult life.
How do you think we did at today's audition?
You have no idea. You have no idea what it is they're looking for. More to the point, neither do they. So then they'll go through and they'll review everything. But, we'll have him. That's it.
Yeah,
Don't ask why. There's no,
Yeah, I've always wondered. Like one time I did a commercial for Shakespeare, and I thought they wanted a seriously dramatic, like a Shakespeare type of guy commercial, and they just wanted to do a fruit basket. They wanted Shakespeare as a fruit basket. So I missed the commercial, and the guy that did Shakespeare, it was a comedy about.
I went to one for something called years and years ago, AskJeeves.com or something. It was, I think it was trying to be a competitor to Google or something. I don't know. Setting up as a website. It was AskJeeves.com or something. Have you heard of